Hi, my name is Aurice Guyton of Aurice Guyton Events, a professional event planner.
What is the most satisfying thing for you about being an event planner?
And one thing that I learned from being an entrepreneur is that it is really hard. You have to do it. So you have to get yourself out of bed and work really, really hard for yourself, right? But it is extremely rewarding. I like making people happy and enjoy themselves. It's just taking their mind off of whatever their problems or stresses are. And the one thing that keeps me going is knowing that I have built a business from the ground up and I can dictate how much money I want to make.
And I forget what the story was, but you told me some story about like you went above and beyond.
I showed up, the venue was closed, and there was an eviction sign on the door.
Oh, no.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our latest episode of Doing the Damn Thing. So before we get into this episode, you guys know the drill. You're going to hit that red button that says subscribe, ring that bell. Then of course you're going to comment and share this video because that's what you want to do for us. So today we are going to be talking all about events, and we have Aurice Guyton from Aurice Guyton Events. She's a professional event planner. So Geraldine, you want to go more into this episode?
Yeah, this episode is really for two types of audiences out there. Those of you who are entrepreneurs and like to do it yourself and want to figure out how to plan an event and make it really successful, as well as those of you who are realizing that you need to hire an event planner and don't really know what to ask. So in this episode, we're going to clarify a lot of that and you'll be able to have a smoother event. So, first question, or actually not question, but do you want to give the audience just a quick little bit about what you do and
sure.
types of clients?
Like, why did we bring you on to talk about events?
Yeah, she's the expert,
Sure.
so we want her to tell. That's why.
Sure. Hello everyone out there. My name is Aurice Guyton of Aurice Guyton Events. I am a professional event planner based here in the Bay Area. However, I plan events all over the world actually. I've planned an event in Central America as well as in France. I've planned events in Texas and Arizona, but the majority of the events I plan are in the Bay Area. I focus on corporate events as well as nonprofit events. Most of my clients are nonprofits.
And so working with an event planner, so what are some of the clients that you work best with, that you feel that there's a lot of synergy? You know, that's for us as entrepreneurs to be able to know how to be good clients, first of all.
That's always great. It's always helpful.
Because it's your expertise. So what are some things that somebody should know if they're looking for an event planner and or looking to. Okay,
that's a great question. Ideally, you want a client I would like a client that has a clear objective, a clear plan, and a clear goal. I get a lot of calls and inquiries of people who just want to plan an event. It's like, I want to plan an event, I want to bring these people out, I want to promote my business, and that's all they have. They don't have a goal, they don't have a clear plan, they don't know what they want to do, and they don't know how that's going to be measured. So what will be the end result? How will that be measured? How do you know if you reached your goal? So do you want to have more people engage with your brand to increase your sales? Do you want to increase your exposure, your social media likes or shares? Do you want to increase your fundraising? Maybe you want to increase the amount of donors you get. But have a clear goal and a clear vision and clear objectives on how you want that goal to be reached and how it will be measured. So just to say I want to plan an event, I need more than that. I need help me out. Help me plan an event that will be totally successful, because that's what a successful event is. Once your goals are reached, you have a successful event.
So you said you have to have goals, plan, and
clear objective.
Yeah, but I'm coming to you because you're an event planner. So why do I have to come with a plan?
You would have to, so I can plan your event based on, I will put together your a layout, Your project management, I will manage all of your do all of your logistics for you, but I need you just to tell me what your goal is.
So that's the first thing, main thing.
Yeah, that's your main thing.
And then you take the goal. Do you take like the type of business that they have, or like what other considerations in creating that plan do you take into consideration?
Your brand message, as well as your audience. So tying all those together to create your ideal event is going to make it just a total smash. It'll be great.
Yeah, so we did a few, we've done, Geraldine and I from Meet Geraldine, we've done a few events, and we've done most of them without an event planner, and we had one time where we were able to bring on an event planner, and that person was so invaluable. They were just on top of the stuff. They took all of the details that we didn't really have time to think about, so there was like that background working, the staffing and all of that, what the catering are, who's gonna be the caterer, where the event is, and all that,
vendors.
So
that's what an event planner will do. They'll manage all of your vendors, and we source the best vendors in town, and we have experience working with so many different vendors. We can bring the best ones to your event. So we would source the right caterer for your event. We'll source the correct DJ or AV company or entertainers and bring them all together to create an event that you would like, what your ideal vision is.
Nice. Well, everybody loves a party.
Yeah,
so give us an example of like the event that you thought was the most fun that you created.
Okay. Oh, there's so many. One of the most memorable events for me was, it wasn't a party, but it was very memorable for me. It was a event for Obama's White House staff in San Francisco. So I did that event on short notice because the venue that they had previously would not pass the Secret Service inspection. So it was me trying to find another venue really quickly for them and plan it out and get the catering and get the AV team and get them all together in secret because no one had to know they were there. And it all came together, and it was great. So I received kudos from Secret Service, which is always good. They were really a pleasure to work with, as well as Valerie Jarrett, who was there as well. So she said I did a really good job. So that was one of the most memorable events for me.
Oh, cool. So let me ask you, when you're working with a client on an event, what should they be doing while you're planning out their event? What's the expectation?
They would be working on the program, so finding their speakers, and then that's really it. Everything else is up to me. So I will handle all logistics. My goal is to make it as stress-free and seamless as possible. So I want them to enjoy their event. So I don't want them to have to do anything. If they need help finding speakers, I can definitely do that. But usually my clients have speakers in mind that they want to bring to their event, and sometimes they're speakers within their own company. So as they're just really handling the attendees, their guests, inviting them out, and handling some of the programming, like I said, the speakers, and then everything else, I'll take care of that.
So I have a question. So when do you think entrepreneurs, and just our entrepreneurs are watching, our small business owners, when do you think they need to hire an event planner? Because I feel like sometimes they might be like, I'm not big enough to hire an event planner, or my event isn't big enough for it.
Yes, they need to hire an event planner as soon as they decide to have an event. Basically. So a lot of times they'll wait until the last minute when everything is coming at them and they don't know what to do. They haven't organized it, and everyone thinks it's really, really easy. It takes a lot of organization. There are a lot of moving pieces and a lot of small little details that can be missed if you don't hire a professional planner. So I would say definitely when you first know you want to have an event, hire a planner.
When you have
and a goal. Definitely have your goal and have your date. And then contact us, because we can find the best vendors at a reasonable price. We can definitely help you with your budget. And then we can just take all that work off your plate from the very beginning, so you don't have to focus on it.
And one thing that I know from you is that you're a problem solver. So this is another thing that like the event planners can be kind of troubleshooting and like putting out fires on the back end. And I forget what the story was, but you told me some story about like you went above and beyond for, not that we're trying to bring more of the above and beyond, but just to know like that you are a superhero in what you do. So what, do you remember the story you told me? I think it was like change of venue.
Yes, I do. So the day of the event, the day before the event, I went to the venue just to make sure everything were set. I spoke with the venue manager, making sure they knew that we were coming. That nothing's changed, right? Yeah. We're still coming. We're still here. We still have the venue booked. And he was acting a little strange. And I was like, something's off. So I don't know if he is, I didn't know what it was. Yeah. So the day of the event, which was the next day, I showed up. The venue was closed. And there was an eviction sign on the door.
Oh, no.
So this was about maybe 2 or 3 hours before the event.
Wow.
It was a small event, so it wasn't a large conference. It was a networking reception.
Okay.
So we were expecting maybe about 60 to 100 people. So not huge, but still a very important event.
Yeah.
All events are important events. So as a professional planner, I have my Rolodex in my head going through who is in the area, what other venue is in the area that can accommodate this number of people, that can have the same amount of services that this venue was providing. And I remembered a venue that was less than a mile away. I contacted the venue manager, say, hey, I need a favor.
Yeah.
Do you have space today? Do you have an opening? I have a group that needs a space, and our venue was just evicted from their space. And she said, I got you, come on by. So quickly sent out those change of venue emails. I hired someone on my staff to stay at the venue, like in front of the doors, just in case people did not get that email, to send them to the other location. And everyone showed up. So pretty much, I think maybe only 2 people showed up at the venue, 2 or 3. But the next venue was less than a mile away, so they were able to get there, and it happened on time. Everything worked out fine. The event started on time, and it was great. So just working with someone who can manage that and who can keep a calm, level head when events and when things do arise, because they do happen, when problems happen, is invaluable. So that's why you definitely want to hire someone.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I'd like to I think you said we were talking to 2 people, but I think we should talk to 3, which are people who want to start an event planning business too. Like as this show is about entrepreneurship, so we talk about a lot of different aspects of entrepreneurship. Can you talk a little bit about some specifics of the role of being an event planner entrepreneur?
Sure. And I tell people that being an entrepreneur is just like an event planning entrepreneur is just like being an entrepreneur for any other business. You are your own boss, so you have to motivate yourself. You don't have anyone above you who is asking you to finish this document or to send this email to a client. You have to do it. So you have to get yourself out of bed and work really, really hard for yourself. You have to do all of your own marketing. You have to go out there and find your clients, and you have to do all your bookkeeping and all your other administrative tasks in the beginning. Until you grow your company, you can hire people to do that for you. So you have to treat it just like any other business. A lot of people, and I get a lot of inquiries of people who want to start an event planning business, and I talk to them, and after I finish speaking with them, they're like, oh, maybe not. So,
not your competition out of there. It's really hard. It's terrible. Get out while you can.
Some people, because they're like, oh, it's super fun, it looks fun, you're planning parties. I'm like, you're not enjoying the party. You are making sure everyone that arrives and your clients and their guests enjoy the party. You're behind the scenes making sure the party goes successfully. So there's always things to do. You're making sure the catering is there and the water is cold and there's ice and the water is refilled or the coffee is refilled. So you're making sure throughout the event that it's going successfully. So if you want to become an event planner, my suggestion would be to work with an event planner first. Do a couple of events and see how it goes. A lot of the event planning is research. It's research, it's phone calls, it's emails. So you're on the phone a lot, and you're on online a lot, looking for ideas and inspiration, and calling vendors just to make sure they're available, or finding alternate vendors, or negotiating budgets and contracts, lots of insurance documents. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes into event planning events. It's not about ordering balloons and ordering like an ice luge or something.
Well, you have to. It's a unique position too, because you're out there networking for clients, but then you're also looking for vendors. You have to network and try out vendors. You have to know different locations. You have to know caterers, all that, and you have to know what their style is specific to others. And then you're also networking for strategic partners, right? Who are some of the strategic partners for you guys?
Meet Geraldine.
Well, we just we built her website.
Yes.
I have AV partners and catering partners, and I'm always looking for more partners because sometimes they grow or they'll move, or they maybe their pricing structure changes. So I'm always looking for different partners that can tailor to specific clients, because all of my clients are different. No client is the same. So I may have a caterer who really specializes in Italian food or Mexican food or Caribbean food, but I have a very, very corporate strategic client who wants Indian food, and I don't have a caterer who specializes in that. Everyone could possibly do it, but that might not be their specialty. So I'm always looking for different partners who can provide different services.
Yeah.
What is the most satisfying thing for you about being an event planner?
I like making people happy and enjoy themselves. And just taking their mind off of whatever their problems or stresses are, and they'll come to an event, whether it's a conference and they're being engaged with a dynamic speaker or awesome food, or it's a cocktail party or a holiday party, just allowing people to just let go of whatever it is that's stressing them out in their day-to-day lives, and just enjoy this event. Just looking at people enjoy themselves and leave happy and say, that was a great event. That just brings me a lot of joy.
So what are some questions or things that entrepreneurs should look out for when they're like hiring an event planner? When they're looking at the portfolio or resume, like what kind of questions should they be asking? What things should they that's a good thing, that's more of a shady thing?
Well, one of the questions definitely is to ask, has that event planner done an event similar to an event that they are trying to plan? Another question would be, is the team? How big is their team, and do they have enough staff to be able to accommodate that particular event? Another wonderful question to ask is, how can the client work with the planner? What is it that the client needs to provide the planner to make sure the planner can do their job, and that the event will go as smoothly as it possibly can? So a lot of clients, they don't know what their role is. So it's up to the planner to explain it to them exactly what they should be providing.
And I imagine it would vary between different
definitely
people too. So then they can kind of feel out okay, with this one I might be paying more money, but it looks like they're going to take more of a role in the event than these other people. So then you can decide for yourself whether it's within your capacity.
Yes, definitely within their capacity, within their budget. Another great question to ask would be, what types of ideas does that event planner have? So once the client tells them what their idea for the event is, the client say, hey, is this feasible? Do you see any problems with this event? What can I do to make it better? So the event planner should come with a strategic plan, event ideas to that they can develop to make the event a success, or to go above.
But not necessarily in the beginning, right? You're just the question might
Correct.
be from them, will you help with the ideation of or do you participate in the creation of the event itself?
Definitely. In my proposal, I add strategic elements. So I put an outline together. I don't give you all the details, but I put together an outline on strategy on how to make this event how to reach your goals.
Is it appropriate for, if I were to call you to see if we were a fit, would it be appropriate for me to ask you, will you collaborate with my team? Will you become part of my team, or can you collaborate with my team during the event, or, is it appropriate to ask that?
Definitely. I work with a lot of teams that have like an in-house event team, but they just need to hire an outside planner. So I do a lot of consulting work with teams on how to make their events better than last year.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
They want different ideas that they want to bring in, and if you have the same team with the same ideas, sometimes you don't have that fresh outlook, that fresh look on the event. So they hire an event planner, and I can come with fresh ideas for them.
So what I'm hearing is that there's kind of different levels of working with an event planner.
Definitely.
So it could be that they take care of everything and you just bring the idea to them. Or if you need, like you were saying, a fresh perspective, you can actually have them consult with you as well.
Definitely, yeah, event consultant. So I can do the entire event, I can do a portion of the event, or I can come just day of and do the event management. I can help with event consultations and just helping you over the phone with your team develop, like I said, different ideas, or to help you with vendor management or decor or entertainment. So whatever elements that you're missing, I can be that supplemental planner on your team to help people
Do you even provide like maybe templates of documents for like planning or something? Because if you don't, maybe you should. Where it's like you can be like, here's this great spreadsheet that you just input your things on there, and then
I use that to plan the event, but I don't provide that information, because even if I did, you would still need help figuring it out. So it's a template, it's a spreadsheet, but you're still going to need some advice.
They still need your secret sauce.
You'll still need the secret sauce. So what you can do, you can go to my website, that is www.auriceguyton.com, and maybe we can flash it on the screen somewhere.
Right
here. And you can download my ultimate event planning guide. So it'll give you some ideas on some themes you can do, as well as some event ideas for your next event.
Cool, that's awesome. Great.
Yes. So all that information will be in the description box below, especially also all your social media handles will be in the description box below and all that good stuff. And of course, if you guys want the secret sauce, you would have to hire her. Yay. That's how it works. So thank you guys so much for joining us again, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.